Welcome back, everybody, to the Mariana's Trench podcast. We have our lovely host here, me, myself, Sai, and then we have the lovely Parvision here as well. And we are here to inform you guys about the rest of the 10 facts that we didn't list about the Mariana's Trench from episode 2. Are you ready, Par?
Damn, you didn't even ask how I'm doing. This is the first time I'm seeing you in like days, bro. And then you sign on, you're like, I'm now a Minecraft miner now. And
Yeah,
you
Minecraft miner is maybe not the best way to put it, knowing how a lot of Minecraft YouTubers turn out.
Oh
But
god.
if you guys don't know, if you want to know, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft on the side. It's bad. I have a Minecraft server. I pay for it monthly, and we don't have a lot of people, right? We have like maybe 6, 7 people. But let me tell you, we have 113 mods. It is insane.
Believe it or not, the thing in Sai's hand is not the worst part of his life right now.
Yeah, it's not the alcohol. It's Minecraft. Let me tell you. I look around my corner every now and then. I'm like, where the hell is Herobrine? Is he watching me?
Oh,
You know, that
God.
used to scare me, Par.
What? I don't know any Minecraft references other than like the zombie stuff.
Oh, okay. So I used to play Minecraft when it first came out, and here's the thing.
When did it
Kid
first come
game,
out?
right?
Like 2004?
Shoot, I have no idea, man. I was a kid. I was like in like early high school, late middle school. I was playing this game, and you know how every game has like a little community. The Minecraft community, since it's mainly kids, they came up with boogeyman stories about it.
Ooh.
And there's one in particular called Herobrine,
Uh-huh.
where it's this story about, I guess it's not a story, it's just like a legend, a myth,
Right.
a folklore about a character that looks just like the main character, which is just named Steve or Minecraft or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He looks exactly the same, but he has like glowing white eyes, and he's a little bit darker, and he hides in the shadows and watches you from afar.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Oh.
And there used to be like YouTube videos like, oh my god, it's Herobrine, and like they would turn a corner, and obviously like it's one of their friends dressed as Herobrine, and that used to scare me, man. Like I would never play Minecraft by myself because I was like, dude, one day Herobrine's gonna get me.
So it's kind of like Slender Man?
Yeah, it's the progenitor of Slenderman, I would say.
Ah, the birther.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I'd say if a hot take, I know to all you Slenderman lovers out there, I think Herobrine is where he came from.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
In Minecraft, there's Herobrine. In real life, we have Slenderman.
Yeah, that I could see that. Minecraft seems so old to me. I feel like I've always known people playing Minecraft. I just never got into it.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's just like a game where you build stuff, but
Yeah.
you'd be surprised how fun building is with friends and like mining and just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, you do that," and then you just come together in a little community. It's kind of nice, right?
Yeah, I
And
guess so.
especially if you have like mods, like you have like 1,000 enemies out to get your head.
I feel like I'd be a monster in this game in the sense of like I would just want to play it forever because I really like customization games.
Yeah.
Yeah, like earlier today actually, I was like I was so close and this would have been like the death of me. I was going to go play Bloons Tower Defense. Apparently like there's new games for it and like that like I haven't streamed in so long like a Twitch stream. I was like,
Yeah.
do I run it? Do I run a Bloons Tower
Do I play
Defense like
balloons today?
yeah, because like you could like talk, but like I get into Bloons Tower Defense. Like I'm looking at the meta, you know, not the meta. Like I'm making my own meta. Like everyone uses like
Yeah.
super monkeys, which you know they're cool, but I like trying to win with like the random stuff, like ice and glue and stuff like that. Like that's what's really fun for me. But
I've never played balloons. I've
Wait,
seen people
really?
play it. Okay, so I love tower defense. I've
Yeah.
never played balloons because I don't like the animation. I don't like the art style.
ah,
Yeah. I'm
that's-
racist when it comes to art style.
But it's like the most basic like cartoony kind of like.
See, back when I was a kid too,
Uh-oh.
there was a tower defense game that I always played. I'm gonna butcher the name because I don't remember it anymore, but it was like Kingdom Tower Defense or something.
I was thinking
And you have
Age
like
of
archers,
Empires.
wizards, barbarians, and there's like 2 or 3 of those games on the iPhone, and they're so good.
Yeah, those games get me. Those games do get me. Like the farming and then like the strat and then I don't know. Like I almost sometimes when I play those games, I feel like Candy Crush moms, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
top
They're like,
of the
I'm just
ladder.
gonna drop a casual $500 on this real quick,
I've
you know?
never done that, but
My
like
balloons dude needs a new hat.
I've never done that, but like Bloons Tower Defense would definitely, especially now that like in content creation we could just put it as like a tax write off, like even for the 50/50 if
Yeah.
we like registered it, we could just be like,
Oh
yep,
yeah.
yep,
If
this
you
is
guys don't
content.
know, even if it isn't like our living or anything, right? We could just count as long as you make. I think the threshold is $600.
Uh
If
huh.
you make $600 a year on anything, and you consider it like a side business, you can count things that attributed to that money as tax write-off. So, like
Is
this
that?
bottle of alcohol,
Uh huh.
I don't know if this could be a tax write-off. Actually, never mind.
No, it could. I think it could
I
be
think it
if
technically
you
could be if
it.
it's on camera.
I don't even know about that. You could even say like I forget what it's
Being
called.
drunk is part of the podcast.
Like because um corporations write off like dinners. Like you put on the corporate card, like there's certain things in that
But for
context, right?
corporate cards, I've okay. So back when I worked at a restaurant,
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody with a company card pay for alcohol with the company card. It's usually on the side. It's like a
That's
separate
true.
tab
That's true. That's true. That's true.
because they're afraid their boss is gonna like dive into it and be like, oh my god, he's been drinking.
I
But
know
then again,
because
sometimes I'll see CEOs come in and they actually will pay for drinks with the company card, but they're the CEOs. Like I met
yeah,
Mr. Hobby Lobby.
yeah. Oh, you did?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He lives in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He comes to my restaurant every now and then.
Yeah, cause
Kind of cool.
like one of my wife's cousins, she worked at like a
He's
high
not that cool.
end restaurant, and
Yeah.
it's in the capital area, and so there was always like bougie dudes in there, doing less than good things, but
That's what I'm talking about.
and so they would just and the story she would tell, it was just like all alcohol, and it would just be all write off, and she would always ask me like, wait, how does this work, how do taxes work? I'm like, I don't know, like necessarily that level, but like yeah, they're not like paying for it. Like, well, they are, but like they aren't, like it's
They
kind of
they are, but they're also getting like a percentage off in a way.
yeah. And then
That's the best way to
also
think about
with
it.
like the business cards, it's like crazy because business cards, they also um like there's so many deals. Like essentially it's like if you get like really good credit cards, it's kind of like everything's Costco. If you know what I mean, like everything's
Yeah.
wholesale price. And it's just kind of wild how that works.
It,
It's like
it's wild because it sucks for a lot of people. Like I still don't have like a business card, which I guess I don't need one.
yeah.
But when you look at the deals that they offer, it's like they get so much money back. They get so much in
Yeah.
benefits and rewards, but it's gate kept by like your income in a way.
Yeah. Like
Like
if
I
you
could
apply
never have that card. Like if I applied for that card, I wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
like I know that people have a card and just make more money than I would based off of the benefits of a card. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like a
Like
money.
why does this exist?
It's
I
a
mean, I guess it
money
makes
hack.
sense from the bank. It makes sense from the bank perspective,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it sucks for like everybody who doesn't make that much. Because I look at them like, man, one day, I swear to fuck, one day I'm gonna take advantage of it. I swear, if the economy changes and they get rid of that, or the tax cuts go down for it, I'm gonna be so upset when I get to that level if I ever do.
Like equality comes right when we're there. We're like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
where's the
Equality
corruption?
comes. And I'm like, I wanted the corruption. What's the point?
Oh
I'm
my.
like that guy throwing everything aside on my desk. Like I have all this, but I could have had it if I just stayed how I am.
If only I was a few years younger, or just a little bit faster.
Oh man.
It is crazy though, because it's like it's legit infinite money hacks, and then you add like the tax benefits later on too. It's like at a certain point you get to a stage and you're just like everything pays for itself by paying for itself.
Yeah,
It's so
it's like,
weird.
and then you could take advantage of the system too, like how Trump said that he only paid like $70 in taxes one
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
And then,
exactly.
And then people were ragging him, and he's like, "Oh, it just means I'm smarter." I'm like, you know what? I can't even argue because if I had that money, I would want to pay no taxes in a way. Like, I don't think there's a singular person in the world who says, "Man, I can't wait to pay taxes this year." Like, if I get to that wealth, it's like I'd pay it still, right? Legally, I'd pay it. But if I could avoid it or knock it down, I definitely would.
Yeah, and like
That's crazy.
that's when like
Rich people are insane, man. I
when
don't know.
people get to that level, it's like they start buying property, and the reason why is because there's another like money hack there, where it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
you can't borrow against liquid assets, but you can borrow against like like a financial property like that. So instead of just having like 100,000 in the bank, it's better to have like 100,000 property, because then you can borrow against that and create debt, and then you can pay with debt, and debt isn't taxable, and it's like this crazy loophole. And I'm like simplifying it, but it's just whew.
There also exists that loophole whenever you get inheritance as well.
Oh, yeah. I know that some places were trying to change that, but that's
I
not
hope they
gonna,
don't.
yeah.
I hope they don't. Please wait, guys.
Wait, why would you care? Are you getting did you
Oh,
self-report?
okay. No, well, I won't get inheritance.
Okay.
But I will get something.
Why'd you say it like you're gonna inherit like a katana or a sword, not to be like
I have to make it sound like it's like, what's that movie with Adam Sandler on Netflix?
51st not 51st Dates.
Not 51st
Mr.
Dates.
Deeds. Mr. Deeds?
No. 2020 release date.
2020? Why are you watching Adam Sandler in 2020?
What are you?
The
2020
gems,
was the start of his glow
Uncut
up.
Gems.
What are you talking
Uncut
about?
Gems?
No, fuck off with Uncut Gems.
What?
It's so I don't know if you know this, but Adam Sandler started doing mystery movies.
Okay, and it's a mystery as to why you're watching them.
But because they inherited like a gem in the movie, and they killed for it.
Isn't that just Uncut Gems?
Yeah, but nobody likes Uncut Gems.
Wait, no, but like the thing you're talking about is Uncut Gems, right?
It isn't. No.
So then he just made another movie off the same premise of just like
It's called Murder Mystery.
oh my, see, this is why
It's actually just called Murder Mystery.
This is why we don't why like Adam Sandler is like, I don't know him personally or anything behind him, but he's a dude you just kind of like, yeah, that's cool. I remember the good old days.
So Adam Sandler's a genius though. Like,
oh
okay,
yeah,
so
he's
Adam Sandler. I don't know if you know
loaded.
this, but he gatekeeps Hollywood.
I didn't know it was gatekeep Hollywood. I thought he squeezes studios. Like he's kind of like a reverse loan shark. He's like, he gets the loan from the studios and he sharks them with the worst movies possible, but they still pay like A
They pay
tier.
buku bucks for him to come over.
Yeah, exactly. And then he just serves him a hot pile of garbage, and then he's just
but
like,
it makes
"Peace."
money though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, he's that guy where it's just like, yes, you do you. You know what I mean? Like, and there's nothing. I don't know anything about him that I don't want to support, but it's more like, I see him and he just comes out the movie every single year, if not 4 movies. And he just makes mad money and he just does whatever he wants. And it's kind of like, he's actually probably the example of what we were just talking about of all the money hacks, right? Because he's like not even using those and still hacking the money system.
The thing with Adam Sandler is that, I don't know if you guys noticed this too, but in every movie he plays in, he only hires his friends.
Yeah, you know,
He hires his friend group. And then I think at one point in an interview, he said that when he does a movie, he always makes sure it's like set in a different country so he could just go on vacation with his friends.
Yeah, no,
like he's actually chilling.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Where it's just like, how can you not be proud of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
no, I still would.
He abuses the studios.
Who wouldn't want to abuse the power you have? Like, you think, okay, so like for us right now, right? We probably look at it, and if me and you, like, let's say we were trying out for the new Hunger Games movie. We're trying our best and we don't make it because Adam Sandler gatekept us. Yeah, it sucks, and I hate Adam Sandler, but if I was in his position, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd look at Par and like, yo, Par, you want to go to Bangladesh and film a movie real quick?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, hell yeah, right? Like,
exactly.
you want to stay at a luxury hotel and just like have like 2 lines about, I don't know, butt cheeks or something, and we're good.
And that's like the epitome of like being a dope dude. He like actually looked out for his friends and homies, and they like get paid too. Like,
yeah,
these dudes have no business being
like
in these movies.
It's like the bank. in the credit benefits, right? It sucks for everybody who's not there. Like, it sucks for us since we're trying out for Hollywood, and obviously we're
Yeah.
not making it because of Adam Sandler. But for Adam Sandler and the homeboys, like, they're living life.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind
And
of like
he's actually looking out for them.
it's kind of like if we got a sick like deal, like a sponsor deal or something, and then
Yeah.
we were like, "What about my homies?"
Yeah. Hey, my homie, he uses Manscaped. Yeah, he just shaved his pubes the other day.
Yeah, it's either us or none of us, and then they're just like, "Oh, but Adam Sandler, we need him."
But the
for
good thing
our
with Adam
movie."
Sandler, though, is that all of his friends have names in Hollywood. So it's like, oh, you got to invite Scarlett Johansson. You have to invite Vince Vaughn. Like, oh yeah, who would say no, right?
It's also like his friends, they have a name also because of him too. Like,
Yeah.
it's like half of them,
like they made it by themselves, but he just keeps on bringing them back from the
yeah,
dead.
yeah, like they
Like,
have
if one
like
of them
a
died,
clean resume.
he'd probably like pull out a Ouija board and just bring him back for a movie.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's so that
Eddie Murphy died. He's gonna be back in Bangladesh in 2 days.
oh my goodness. You can't even be mad about that, right? You
Yeah.
can't. You would, I mean, if we had that kind of power, like Mr. Beast kind of does that, right? It's just like
Yeah.
it's like all of us question mark.
Have you seen Mr. Beast's newest video?
It was shoes, right? That one?
It was his newest video, which
I didn't see
I
the
guess this
newest
is kind
one.
of a topic since it has like over 30 million views or something, but it's about having like a real life assassin trying to stab him with a toy knife,
Okay.
and he stages a bunch of stuff like, oh, like we're gonna go from this set to this set to this set, and he just has to poke me with the knife by the end of the day. It's a toy knife, so obviously it's not gonna actually kill Mr. Beast.
Uh-huh.
And there's always controversy with Mr. Beast's videos.
Yeah.
For this one, it was the fact that he blew up a house that he bought. And then people are like, oh, like, how dare Mr. Beast blow up this house? You know, like, somebody could have lived here.
Where's the house? Is it like
I think it's like it's 3/4 of the way in the video.
Okay, let me see.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's actually
If
like
it's in, like-
in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, if
like
it's-
it looks like he probably built it himself just to blow it up.
Like if
And
it
then-
was in California, that's different, right? But if it's like in the middle of nowhere and it's like been vacant for like 5 years, whatever, right?
I don't even know why I brought up Mr. Beast, but it just confounds me that people always find something to hate when it comes to Mr. Beast.
That is yeah, that's people are starting to eat the rich, maybe too much of the rich, but everything needs an extreme.
Don't eat Jimmy.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast seems like a really good guy. Honestly, if I was Mr. Beast and I saw all the things people were saying about me, sometimes I was like, dude, I'm just gonna become a supervillain.
Yeah, I that's what I think a lot of people kind of forget. It's like I apply this to Elon Musk too. Like I say, Elon Musk aside, I think he's just more of a fragile existence in
He's
that
a goofy
like,
guy,
yeah, in that like
but he could be worse.
yeah, he could be worse, but also the bad parts like the especially bad parts of him recently has literally just been retaliation of like all the hate he's gotten over the years. And it's like,
Yeah.
I kind of look at it as like, how long could it take for like you to break somebody, right? And if you're like on top of the world and everybody's looking to hate you, it's like that's kind of a burden, you know what I mean? Like as much as
Yeah.
we were talking about the credit card deals and the tax credit stuff, like
That's an even higher level.
yeah, like that's like Mr. Beast kind of just goes places and doesn't need to pay, like, you know what I mean? Like I remember I asked my wife something, I forgot what it was. It was something that we talked about on one of the podcasts, and it was like if you could like make the world, what would you do? And like, how we had our respective answers. My wife was just like, I would get rid of money, right? And like she was talking about like the times before it was probably like way better, and like you wouldn't have like crazy celebrities because like what would they be trading their fame for, right? Like they have a lot of money because the money exists, but if you went back to like trading goats and corn and stuff, like the Kardashians just wouldn't be a thing. Like people would get IOUs maybe, but not like the way celebrities do. And I was just like thinking about that in this context because it's just like
The most
man.
important power to have back then is like friendship, right?
Yeah. That's what she was saying. She was saying like people would like each other a lot more if their money didn't exist. And
I
like,
think the same could be said with war. Instead, let's keep the money. Let's just introduce like super crazy war.
what do you mean super crazy war?
Like just if I was the god of a world and if I were to create a brand new world, I'd have so many hybrid monsters running about,
Right.
causing havoc, destroying villages,
Yeah.
where the death toll would be at least like 5 million a day, where every moment you spend with somebody else would be precious.
So the question I guess there is like, how does that make the world a better place?
I don't think it does.
Was that the premise of what we were talking about though? But
Yeah, but I'm just saying sometimes the world doesn't have to be better.
that's true. You know, I mean, I think a lot of people would look at the way the world is right now and say like maybe there was a better alternative, and hey, maybe yours is appealing to
What
others.
if one of the races that tries to run rampant against humanity is half shark, half man? Would you join their side?
Half shark, half man. Why wouldn't I? That's terrifying.
No, but you like sharks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Would you have like a inclination to just be with them?
I mean, I like sharks because I respect sharks. It's not
Oh,
necessarily
yeah.
like I want to cuddle up with the shark. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
yeah. Like things that are cute don't necessarily aren't the things that like I gravitate towards. And it's kind of cute, except for like my son. He's really cute, but
My plan is like Thanos, where we have like a bunch of bad races, like shark people, lizard people come out of the ground and they cause war and havoc,
yeah.
and then eventually humanity just bands together.
The
Who knows?
I don't know if you saw the TikTok I sent you. Apparently, they discovered how to put mini antlers on mice, and I immediately thought of you. Yeah, they took
Wait,
like
what? No, I didn't see that yet. I didn't open TikTok.
they took the cells from like where the antlers
That's
grow,
cool.
and they made it put on a
Wait
mice. And
a
I
minute.
don't know if it was like real or not, but that shit looked crazy. And I was just
I
like,
like to imagine the scientist is like he's just like me for real. He's like he's like one day he'll destroy humanity.
no, better yet, he's a 50-50 podcast listener.
Yeah, he listens to the 50-50. He names the first mice Psy. That'd be kind of cool.
The first mice. I mean, if we're capable of doing that, I'm sure we're capable of a lot more, right? Like, it's kind of.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we could.
Yeah. Would you want. If you. I mean, we talked about animals a lot before, but if there was a part of your body that you could add, like, an animal part to, keeping it PG, what would you do?
I don't even know. What body part would I want to change?
Yeah,
for...
like, what half animal, I guess. Let's just go with half animal.
Would I? So I'd want like a praying mantis scythe.
Praying mantis scythe.
But I'd also want to still have my fingers. So like maybe like my fingers are good, and then
You can't
like,
have the best of both worlds. What
okay,
is
see,
that?
then I don't know. Like that's always my go-to answer.
But like you
Maybe
could get
wings.
good. Oh, wings. That's solid.
I'd
You
probably
know.
just do wings. I know that's very basic, but I feel like
Yeah, I guess
feel like
wings is
it
kind of
works.
cool. I'm trying to think what would I do.
Wouldn't really get in the way too much either.
Yeah, wings. Wings is probably the best answer now I think about it. I was
hide
thinking
it
like
too.
a tail. I think tails are kind of cool. I was watching a video of like alligators, and like I feel like anytime you watch crocodiles and alligators, they're kind of like they're not slow, right? Like
Yeah.
but I feel like in videos you very rarely see like the snap of an alligator or crocodile, and I saw a video where it was like you couldn't even slow down the frames. Like it was literally like one frame, the next frame it was gone. Like that's how fast these things were, and it's all because like they swing their tail and they just like push off against the ground and just like fly. And I'm just like, I think like a tail would be kind of sick. You could use a tail, but again, flying is
Tail
really
wouldn't
useful.
be bad.
Yeah. Oh man, it's hard. That is, when you said the whole hands thing, it's like, yeah, that kind of eliminates a lot of things. And then you're kind of left with like the extra stuff, like tails or spines or wings. There's not much else, right? I guess you could have like sensory things, right? Like you could have like like in Marvel, there's like the praying mantis like thing, and
Oh, that girl with like the two black balls on her head.
yeah, yeah. Or oh, the fish that's underwater and it has a lamp. That's kind of cool. Then you wouldn't
Oh,
need a ring
the
light.
angelfish. Is
Yeah,
that what it's called?
you wouldn't need a ring light. We'd be the ultimate content creators if we just had a ring light into our
I
face.
don't know if I'd like that though.
Perfect lighting all the time. I feel like girls would love that. If
The
you're a
li-
girl listening to
Ooh.
this, would you want to have the angelfish dangly thing? You know, from Finding Nemo, the little dangly.
I don't know if I'd want that though. I feel like it would just get in the way a lot of times.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What about how about this? Like you could have a shark's jaw. Like so then you get replaceable teeth.
That would be kind of dope.
Yeah, that's kind of sick, right?
It,
Dang.
okay, so that would be good in terms of like dental work, but on a day-to-day basis, it wouldn't be too helpful, right? Like at least
Yeah.
for wings, you could fly every day. Like I can't imagine a scenario where shark teeth would be beneficial on a daily basis.
But then like with bird wings, they'd have to be so big because to support your weight, like I would imagine
Yeah.
that they would have to be like quadruple what like a bird our size
Oh
would
yeah, and
need to
I'd
be.
have like hella back muscle.
Yeah, yeah, and so like that kind of gets in the way. Like, how do you sleep at night? You know what I mean? Like, you have to always stomach sleep. That's kind of, I kind of like sleeping on my back. You know what I mean? I guess you
I
could
feel
sprawl
like
them
I could
out.
get used to stomach sleeping.
Yeah,
Like just put a pillow down or something.
yeah, yeah. I wonder if bat wings. I wonder if bat wings would be better than bird wings.
I guess it depends how flexible and how durable your wings are. Because
Yeah,
since it has to compensate the human body, maybe it's sturdy enough to where you could sleep on them.
maybe. Yeah, that would make sense. But then they'd be so heavy. Maybe bat wings is better than bird wings for our size. But then bat wings are gross. They're like skinny and leathery, right? Like,
I like bat wings.
you like
I
bat
think bat wings are
wings?
kind of dope. Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
so then you'd go bat wings then, right?
I'd go bat wings over bird wings. I don't like
Huh.
the featheriness.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess. But the featheriness, I kind of think of like hawks from My Hero, but like the yeah, damn, bat wings or bird wings. Okay, if you had bat wings, would you sleep upside down?
If there was a spot,
Like,
if it's comfy, right?
have you
'Cause
ever
bats,
tried?
like sleeping upside down?
Yeah, like have you ever like thought like, huh, maybe that could be comfortable? Has that ever
No,
crossed your mind?
because
Damn.
I've been upside down a couple times and it's not. I'm not a fan of it.
What do you mean like a couple times, like roller coasters or like?
Like monkey bar, roller coasters.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like hanging upside down on a monkey bar is kind of like I'm thinking about like I guess not like a bat, but like
Like a meat hook.
a meat hook. Oh yeah, that would kind of work it. I was thinking like a super inclined bed where you just somehow like stayed like in that thing. I
I don't
always
think the human brain can last upside down though, right?
I don't
Because you
know.
just have the blood rush to it.
I don't know. I've been thinking about it because like our son like you know when a baby's being born they're
Yeah.
upside down because their head has to come out first, so they're like our son was like upside down for literally like 2 months like in my wife's womb, and I'm just like and then my wife's like it's not really upside down for them. I was like, what do you mean it's not really upside down? She's like, it's because they're in water. And I'm like, yeah, but his head's still like downwards. Doesn't that still like the gravity still works that way, so he's technically been upside down for a really long time. I imagine maybe it could be comfortable. I've always
The
wanted
lost
to
trait
do
of humanity, just sleeping upside down.
yeah, so actually I could give a teaser into one of my One Piece videos, but it's also like not super it doesn't have to be related, but like the idea that all humans have come from the water, and what I'm going to include in the video is that like people like yeah, like mermaids or fish or whatever, if you don't believe in all that stuff, even without that, when you realize it's like wait, when you're in the womb, you're submerged in water for 9 months. So we all kind of start as like little tadpoles. And so in that regard, we all come from the water. Even right now, me and you, we're water people.
Hey, I don't mind. I like water,
Yeah, I
but I
like
think
water.
fire's cooler though, for sure.
You like fire more than water?
Oh yeah.
Wait, why?
I don't know because I think fire is I think it looks better. So like I bring it back to the Avatar, the Last Airbender. Would you be like a waterbender or firebender?
A waterbender or a firebender? I'd be a firebender over waterbender, yeah.
Yeah. See,
But like
there's a certain aesthetic with firebending.
I don't know if it's this. Wait, are you do I look like a firebender? What do I look like? Wait, what do you look like? What do you think you look like?
I think I'd be a
You
firebender.
think a firebender?
Yeah.
Huh. Let me
Have you ever watched the live action not One Piece, Avatar: The
nah.
Last Airbender
Why
movie?
would I do that?
You know they separated the bending by race.
Yeah, which was, interesting in and of
I thought
itself.
that was hilarious. That was so good. I watched it and then I was like, wait a minute, all the Asian people are earthbenders. What's going on here?
I feel like you would be an airbender.
I would hate to be an airbender. I'd fucking kill myself.
Wait, why?
Airbending sucks.
Wait, hold on. Airbending does not suck.
I mean, it's strong, it's powerful, but the aesthetic wise, it's not there.
Okay, hold on. Real quick to immerse the viewers
What's up?
into this. Comment what kind of bending you
Yeah,
think
what
you are
bending would you want?
versus what you want to be. Because I feel like, okay. I feel like you're like a nomadic person.
Oh, hell no. What?
Yeah, you are. You're literally.
Hard.
What do you mean?
I would not be a nomadic person. Take that back.
I feel like you, like, not this. Maybe I'm gonna phrase it wrong, but I feel like your attachment to like material is very low. You know what I mean? I mean, you do drink, but like, I'm sure there's drinking airbenders, but and then you have like the cats and you have a garden in your place. Like you're literally an airbender, bro. You're Monk Yatso. Like,
Hear me out. Hear me out. So you don't know this part, but
Uh-huh.
my body temperature is always super high.
yeah,
I'm a warm guy.
That has nothing to do with this.
I drink alcohol because I like to imagine that one day when I need it, I could spit it out and light a match, and then boom, I got firebending right there.
Did I ever show you I figured out how to blow fire? I think I might have showed you. It's
With
like,
what? No.
so what people don't
Is this with
know.
the wood chips?
No. But what people don't know is that all powder is flammable, essentially. Any powder. If it's powder dispersed in the, like, if you took like any powder and it's like compressed or whatever, and then you try to light it, nothing, right? But you blow it into the air, it's now flammable because of how like the electrons were. I don't know exactly how it is, but it's pretty much like nearly all powders. You just blow it, and so I think it's like, I forget which powder I was using. It was probably like flour or something. Yeah, I think it was just flour. It was like just a regular type of like fine flour. I like took a torch, which was just made of newspaper, and I like put flour in my mouth and I blew it out, and it just turned into a giant fireball. And I was like, thank God I didn't do this shit indoors. But
Just kill everybody.
I didn't
Yeah,
think
good.
it would work, but like then it worked, and I got it on camera. I was like, this shit is dope. I'm never doing it again though. Like,
Would you ever whip it out in a fight? like a street fight. Let's say you're in like the streets of New York or something.
yeah.
And you look like a tourist. You got a camera with you, but you also have flour in your pocket in a lighter. And then some guy's like, "Oh, it's a tourist," and then he goes over to mug you with a knife. Would you whip out the fireball technique?
Yo, that'd be so crack. That would be such like, that is such a, like, if you imagine you're a bystander and
Yeah.
you just see like, give me all your money, and then some dude just whips out powder and just whoosh, and then lights, and then across the street you just say like, what the fuck did I just watch? Yo,
Like at that point, if you're the mugger, you just kind of give up, right? Like
Yeah.
you lost to science.
I feel like you get startled. I feel like, see, the thing is, you do that and you run. Like, you don't do that and you stay. You know what I mean? Like, you don't do that and be like, ha, got you. You do that as a distraction and you run the fuck out, right? Like, if the mugger is still there after the fire's gone and you're just like, yeah,
But
what are you
if
gonna
he's
do
so
now?
bewildered and he just doesn't know how to react? Like he's debating whether he should leave or run, and then if you run, then he'll chase you down. But if you stand your ground and act like you could do it again, but better, then maybe he'll run away.
Oh, and then you just have your hand in your
It's like
pocket.
there's
more where
There's
more where that came from, mister.
Yeah.
Yo.
No, you should hit him with. You thought that was crazy? Wait till I throw a handful, right? Like,
Yo.
wait till I throw 2 cups worth.
I feel like I wouldn't use that if I was confronted, but I would do that if I was trying to just like, if I saw like an altercation or if I saw like some kind of thing I need to break up, I'd just be like, whoosh, and then light it up, and they'd be like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, you
like,
see a gas station robbery, and you're like, hold up, guys. I know you're currently robbing this man with a shotgun, but let me show you a cool magic trick.
It's just like, I see you guys are robbing the inside, but aren't you worried about how you're gonna get outside? And then you guys point backwards, it's all on fire.
What you should do is that if you ever see somebody robbing a gas station while you're outside, you should perform that fire trick on the handle so that it'll be too hot to touch. Well, not even too hot because it's momentarily, so maybe it'll be like kind of warm. So it's like, oh no. He just lets go of it.
You just encircle it with gas, and you just light it on fire, and you just like look at them menacingly while they're inside, and you're just like,
smart.
Yeah, that's actually kind of smart. Yeah, you kind of, when you think about it, it's very dangerous. Do not do that. Like, as much as we're saying it's a cool thing, a good thing to do, don't let me see that in the newspaper or Philip DeFranco.
Yeah, lunatic starts pouring gasoline everywhere.
But worst or best part, honestly, okay, guys, listen, this is all a joke, but it'd be so sick if somebody did that and then they're like, yeah, I heard it on the 50/50 podcast, and we just got insane viral attraction.
Hey, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly. But but if we say that, then we would be liable for what we're doing, because we're encouraging.
We're not incentivizing anybody to do it though. We're just spewing out information that they could easily Google.
But Spotify and everyone might take us down for like inciting violence, even though it's not like a constitutional thing. They'd be like, yeah, we just don't want people to come to like our platform
to learn about how to murder people on the street.
To light gas stations on fire for views.
Ooh, we should have new deadly techniques every week.
Oh my goodness.
So this is kind of not building off, but I guess it works in tandem. Speaking of powder, a cool technique I saw came from it's not Family Guy, King of the Hill. Actually, it's pocket sand, because that works.
Like, throwing pockets. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's something you could do confrontationally, but it's also like, it's also one of those things where you do it and you kind of just like, you have to be very careful of re-engaging. All of these things you should just run. Like, you should throw the sand and run.
In real life scenarios, wink wink, you want to run away. But
yeah,
back when I used to like walk downtown late at night, I used to have pocket sand in my pockets. Just in case if somebody tried to like mug me or anything, I had pocket sand ready to go.
Damn.
It wasn't necessarily sand, it was like dirt, but I like to imagine the effect was the same.
But at that rate, why not just carry pepper spray?
Men don't carry pepper spray, Par.
Fair enough. That is true, because I bought all like my wife's female like all the bridesmaids just have pepper spray.
It's like female friendly pepper spray.
And
like,
my wife,
do you want to carry pepper spray, Par?
No, my wife is just like, like, I got her a pink one, and she's like, you can get like a blue one or black. I'm like, I'm not. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
If I have to resort to pepper spray,
I don't want to be that guy, like toxic masculinity. But let me tell you right now, you won't catch me dead with pepper spray.
I'd rather have fucking sand.
Yeah, I'd rather have like dirt from,
I grind myself.
Yard.
Like I grind it myself. Like I just take a pocket full of beach sand, grind it down. The optimal thing. Never. I do as much as.
Get all the minerals out of the sand as you can.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I mean, at that rate, it's just like, you could just carry, like, peppers. Like, you could just, like...
Yeah, actual peppers.
Do people do that, though? Like, not for self-defense. Like, I know people who, like, unironically just carry, like, hot peppers with them just for whatever. And I feel like now I think about it, that's a dope self-defense mechanism. You just, like, squirt it. Just, like,
yeah.
Even that's better than peppers.
I mean, God. Ideally you'd also just have a knife
hot
or something.
Sauce. That's not that weird. Yeah, why not just carry some like Taco Bell?
Ooh, how about this? Hear me out. What about sprayable hot sauce?
Yeah. Anything? Listen, do you want to be caught dead with pepper spray? No, right? Because you're not a. And then you use
but what? You don't want to be caught dead with pepper spray. But what about aerosol pepper?
I can't even breathe.
Hey, that's smart. That's smart.
Oh god.
We should actually make that and have it branded for men only. Like it has a picture of like a bear claw or something.
Oh my goodness.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
The ultimate
as
self-defense.
as the guy that does our commercials.
Yeah, the best deterrent for men, pepper in spray form. Not pepper spray. Don't mistake it with pepper spray.
Yeah, it's not pepper spray. It's pepper in aerosol form.
Oh my goodness. Let us know in the comments if you'd buy that. I mean, honestly, I feel like we need people to like boost it up for us. So like if you guys are willing to boost up
Yeah. Just know that we already have it licensed.
Yeah,
It's
patented.
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it consists of like hot one sauce and then a spray bottle.
And that's all it is. We gas it up, literally.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh, we could just like invent like a projectile thing, like something that makes it.
Oh, that's smart, like a water gun almost.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, pepper guns. Wait, pepper spray?
Pepper aerosol gun. Oh,
yeah, because men wouldn't buy
yeah.
pepper spray like it's perfume, right? Pepper guns though. That's
but we
different.
can't have it look like a gun because I don't want to get like pulled over and people see it and like, yo, like this guy has a firearm.
True.
Instead, it should be shaped like something else. Like what's inconspicuous? Like a phone?
A phone? Yeah, but like what's manly? I think that's like what we have to target the demographic.
A bow
right?
staff.
A bow. Oh my goodness! I'm like the most inconvenient solution. It was like, do you want to be a man?
No. Have you ever seen those TikTok videos of like that one little thing? It's like this big, and then you press a button and it fucking extends to a bow staff.
Oh, you mean like the Sun Wukong thing? Yeah. I know
like a Sun Wukong like Monkey King kind of weapon.
Yeah.
No, we should have one of those where we press the button, it extends, and then you point it at somebody, and then you press it, and then it's like.
Wait, confetti cannon. Pepper cannons, bro. We just
wait, like like that.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the kind where you have to set on the ground and light on fire. Like if this was like a video game, it would be like a 5-second spell you have to cast.
Yes, just carry on fireworks for self-defense.
Yeah. Make sure to have like the DPS and tank guard you while you cast a spell in the background.
No,
of course.
I meant the ones for like party. You just twist it and then it shoots out pepper. Like, because then it's not pepper spray, it's a pepper cannon. And
that works too.
Yeah,
and then to make it manly, we should have it be like black and blue. And then have a skull on there.
I'm seeing the vision here. You know, it might not be the most clear vision, but like there are stupider things being sold.
I have an idea. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy part, but for marketing and for profits, how about it's a one-time use thing, and we sell it at $9.99 a piece, only one-time use. So like right when they pop it, they have to buy a new one.
Yeah.
Because pepper spray is pretty cheap, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I could probably get
pepper
some.
Pepper spray is like average $20. So if they want, and they use pepper spray a lot. So let's say 2 uses out of this, boom, we already made like as much as a pepper spray would. But the pepper spray has like 50 uses. They only got 2 uses out of ours.
Yeah.
Like, this is money right here.
Yeah. And
I think we're honest.
I got an idea for the business model, the payment structure. Let's do it 50-50.
Yeah, like the 50-50 podcast.
Yeah.
It all ties back.
Oh my goodness. I swear. The thing is, like, I've seen dumber things on the Shark Tank, and I wanted to bring some up, but I forgot most of them. I sent you a few that were just like, what? But this one is like, I feel like now that we said it, now we spoke it into the universe, in 2 weeks, I'm gonna see some of those dumb like self-defense things where it's like, if someone's holding a gun to your face, you know what you should do? Grab it, because they won't be able to react. You know, like those.
Oh, I love those. I've seen those. I forgot his name. There's a guy on YouTube that does that.
Like the
and
Detroit.
I think Voice Critical had the guy on his channel at one point.
He had the guy.
Like, yeah, if somebody points a gun your way, just do this, and then snap their neck, and do a front flip and slap him to the left cheek. Like it's crazy.
Did you see
self-defense gets wild?
Moist Critical's recent thing with Sneeko with the clips and mags?
The Sneeko drama, that's hilarious.
Yeah, man. Everyone was just like, because like for those of you guys who don't know, Moist Critical is like a Twitch streamer.
If you don't know who Moist Critical is, like it's I'm surprised.
So people call him like the internet Jesus, but then he's also like this unsuspecting kid-looking person. But then he's also like jacked. He's like ripped. Like he's like Chris Hemsworth like level strength.
I wouldn't say he's jacked or ripped. He's just his BMI is insane.
Yeah, it's just kind. He has a sleeper build, and then
build.
like
Yeah.
he's
a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't know. And so he.
Wait, are you a shower?
Sure what?
Are you a grower or shower?
Me or you? Wait, or him?
You.
Grower or shower? I'm a grower.
Okay, I'm a grower too. Why'd you act like growing was so like, I don't know, like surprising?
No. I wasn't saying that. I was.
Right.
We were talking about the muscles, and then you were talking.
If you guys are in the comments, let us know. Are you a grower or shower? I feel like a majority of guys are growers, right?
Not based off of the hub, right?
Well, that's the hub though. That's different than real life.
That's true. That's not a majority of men, right?
I think like 95% of men are growers.
There has to be studies. Right,
I don't want to look this up, but if you want to look it up and fact check what the number is, I am a little bit interested.
Yeah, I got this.
I'd be very shocked if any. Just like single out the fan base. I'd be very shocked if we had a large female viewership.
79% of men are growers, while 21% are showers.
Yeah. Hey, 79, baby, good number.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, I'm sure even if we had female viewers, they're interested in knowing this. It's not like we're talking about like very vulgar. We're not speaking about things in the vulgar way.
Well, we
right?
just talked about. We had a whole like 10-minute ad segment where we talked about a pepper spray that's only aimed at men.
Yeah, but that is entertainment, because then like dudes are stupid. Like I'd imagine our wives would be sitting in our conversation talking about that, and then just be like laughing and face palming. You know what I mean? Or like I don't even know. They would just be making.
They'd be laughing but sweating because they know it's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. You know, our wives support us 100%.
Who's scared? They're scared of the brain size.
I can't believe like the thing is, as dumb as like all of that sounds, it is true. I feel like pepper spray is like a more feminine thing. Guys won't buy it, even though it's very functional. And then all you have to do is call it a pepper gun. If you called it a pepper gun or something, they'd be like, yeah, I'll get that. You know what I mean?
That's just how the times are, right?
Yeah. Did you know that like there's an actual pen gun? Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah, I've seen the pen gun.
That's so
I've kept my eye on its development for a while.
What do you mean you kept your eye on it? Why?
Dude, a pen gun is so fucking cool. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but like, nah, you're right. If I was aware of it sooner, I'd kind of keep tabs. I would never like particularly get it. It's not functional.
It's like the people who create like the umbrella gun, because that's a real thing too.
Umbrella? Oh, I mean, umbrella gun makes more sense because there's a whole barrel, but like this pen is like tiny, and then it like snaps, and then there's even a trigger, and I'm like, yo, that's sick.
Smart.
Yeah, it like when I saw, and then you could still use it as a pen. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy, and I'm just like, wow.
Eventually, we're gonna see like a high-level assassination using a pen gun.
So apparently, the reason why I saw this is because I was watching a stream, and they were watching a Yakuza member being interviewed, like an ex-Yakuza member, and this Yakuza member is an ex-Yakuza member because his family became dissolved, and so he was freed essentially without like having to cut his pinky, which they don't normally do, but apparently the not the father, but the head of the household, even though he didn't need to cut off his pinky, he still did. Like the people were like, oh, you don't need to do that, and he's like, no, and then he chopped it off. So that's what the guy's story is. But he was saying like, in terms of weapons, that's like one of the weapons that they use. It's like a pen gun. I'm like, what? And it's like actually scary, but it's like no accuracy. So apparently it's like purely for assassination. Like you just like walk up. It's like, you know, you put it right to them and use it. I'm like, bro, I I'm surprised I didn't know that existed living
Yeah,
in America.
watch out. If you guys ever go to Japan and you see a guy writing in a notebook and he's walking towards you, run.
Not even because
He's there to kill you.
not even
Confirmed.
because of the pen gun thing, but because there's a very famous anime called Death Note. If you're not aware of that, then read that, because yeah, if anyone's writing in a book and looking at you, run. Run regardless.
I like how we say this, like, oh, if you ever not, or if you haven't seen Death Note before, if you haven't seen Moist Critical, it's like, I'd be shocked to meet a man who hasn't heard of those two things.
Especially in our viewership of, like, because most of the people early on are going to be people from our One Piece channels, so they at least have heard of Death Note. Moist Critical, I think some people might not have, but like,
there's a lot of creators in the space who want to be like Moist Critical. I think he's like a shining idol for a lot of people.
Are you one of those people?
Oh yeah, I've talked to a couple of other YouTubers too, and they're all like, "Man, one day I want to be like Moist Critical." I think everybody wants to be like him. He's like a childhood hero.
Wait, what about him is aspirational?
Just his content, you know. He just pops on a camera, talks about one random subject a day. He's just true to himself, and that's it. You know, he's just chilling. He's very humble. He doesn't like flex his money. Like, not every video is like, oh, like, here's my $5 million mansion, right? Look, guys, today I purchased a Lamborghini. Like, he's just a really humble guy, you know?
He just talks. He just buys a esports team and watches them like,
and loses money.
That's like the craziest thing.
I feel like it's very nice to watch, and I feel like a lot of people aspire to be him, and you know, I'm kind of one of them.
That's fair. That's fair. Is that the only internet personality that you kind of like follow or look at?
Internet personality.
Yeah.
I'd say yeah. I like Asmongold, but that's for a different reason.
Asmongold. I feel like he made a video about Grand Line, I think, recently, right? I think that was why I heard of him. I know what he looks. Wait, doesn't he look like Moist? Like, he has really long hair too, right?
Yeah, he's another Jesus figure, I guess.
Damn,
I'm not religious, but you know, for some reason, Jesus just always comes back in my life.
Yeah, apparently so. You know what I found out recently is that apparently, and not apparently, I kind of like knew this, but I didn't know it was a religious thing. I sent you a TikTok. No, I sent you a TikTok about it. How we were talking about flat earthers, right? So, like, the flat earther movement. Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like, the flat earther movement, like, they propose it as something that has always existed, but apparently flat earther movement is only a modern era thing, and in all ancient, like, literature across the board, it's always a sphere.
It's always been round.
It's always been round. At no point, even in the Bible, they say, like, essentially that. And apparently the flat earther movement stemmed from a misunderstanding from the Bible. And I'm like, I didn't know that. That's not how, like, it's always been portrayed to me. And, like, the TikTok goes on. Maybe I'll link it to, like, how it's just ignorance of facts.
But it was, like, a modern-day meme that some people took seriously, too.
Yeah.
Like, flat Earth is kind of a crazy movement. I don't know who thinks the Earth is flat. If I had somebody I knew in my close friend circle that said that the Earth was flat, I'm not going to lie, I'd probably drop them.
Yeah, I don't think
I understand the whole, like, oh, people have different opinions, but some opinions are just dumb, right? like, let's be real here. Some opinions are just flat out stupid.
Yo.
Yeah, you can have your own opinion. You can come to this conclusion, but I'm going to think a little bit less of you.
I'll be honest, like, and I'm sorry if you are a flat earther in the comments.
Dude, imagine
best case.
100% of our viewers are flat earthers.
No way. There's absolutely no
100%.
way. There's no absolute. I would quit. We would quit, right? We'd quit on the spot.
This video, this podcast, like, minus 500 likes, zero likes in general. Like, that's it.
Yeah, we're gonna get bombarded by the flat earther. We just realized that our entire demographic is just rocks. Like,
yeah. They were hoping we'd talk about how valid flat Earth is this episode.
Yo.
Every episode they have their fingers crossed, like, oh, please.
Meanwhile, in actuality, one of our viewers, Vibhav, they sent me, like, a bunch of NASA references to, like, our previous conversation. One of them.
I remember that, yeah.
And like, asteroids. And it's, like, this dope thing. And it's, like, you know, it's really nice when the community also gives back feedback, and hopefully we can bring more of that in the future too. But like the flat earther
I
thing,
thought you were gonna say that with flat Earth.
no,
Hopefully they just give us flat Earth documentaries instead of just blasting us. But
no. Honestly, if you are a devout flat earther believer, maybe that is a conversation to be had, to have on the thing. Joe Rogan does that, right? That's how he got famous.
How about this? You know what? We don't really have a subject or topic matter, and I was gonna do the Marianas Trench.
I was gonna say, didn't you have the Marianas Trench?
I did, but instead, let's look at flat Earth arguments.
Okay.
How about that?
I went through a TikTok. Oh, two things. That TikTok that I sent you. Ironically, that guy is another internet Jesus looking dude. Just remember.
Apparently, the people we follow on the internet are just internet Jesuses.
Yeah, he also talks like that too. Now I think about like the moist critical s like speaking mannerisms. But then the other thing was I don't know if you've seen this. This was arguably probably the dumbest point of my week, and the part where I just like I put down my phone and I just like picked up my kid and I just kind of held him tight and I'm like, I'm so sorry I brought you into this world. But like I don't know if you saw, there was like this European flight. I think it was coming from the US going to Europe. I don't remember. Or it was a inter-European flight. I think it was going to Germany, something like that. And the guy, like you can put autopilot on a plane, right?
Yeah.
And so apparently you're only allowed to have nap times for like 24 hours or something at a time, or some I don't know the hourage. I'm making that up, like 12 hours or something like that. Let's say 12 hours. I think it was 12 hours. 12 hours at a time. And so you can leave autopilot. He slept for 16 hours or something like that, like probably like 50% more than he should have. And so when he woke up, it was in the middle of the night, and he saw a light coming like in front of the plane. And so he nosedived the plane, okay? And so the nosedive was so severe that the people felt like a crash, and the seatbelt sign wasn't on because it was so immediate. Some people hit the ceiling and broke the ceiling like thing, and it fell back down. Yeah, like
they were just lobotomized after that. I think
I think 4 people were concussed on the plane, and there wasn't even that many people on the plane but it was like it looked like a war zone. Like like if you play Call of Duty and you gone through like a plane scene, it looked like that on the plane. And so to explain what the pilot
hit with the flashbang.
Yeah, and so what happened with the guy, he thought the light was a plane coming at them. Is in the pitch dark night, but what it really was Saturn. Saturn was in the sky right in front of him, and so the light was so bright it looked like the plane.
You know what?
What?
I gotta say, that plane, the person who's piloting that plane, A1 decision.
No, so
it's a good decision.
The airline, everyone's defending him in the aeronautic industry, that like they're fine, but like the people are suing, and he's like, bro, if we were going into another plane, like what would you want from me?
Dude,
but
yeah, if it actually was another plane, you wouldn't be suing nobody. You'd be dead. Like I think the pilot, A1 decision.
And the thing is, like,
it gave 4 people concussions, but guess what? Concussions are not fatal.
And so
majority of the time.
The thing was like the another part of the defense was pilots are a rare commodity, but then on top of that, the flight path that we're going on is a flight path that is very like sparse. Like not many airlines take it. It's apparently a very difficult flight to make, and at a difficult time. So all things considered,
the chances are 0 then. I mean, it's still not 0% chance that there's not another plane there.
Yeah, so like and so like the other plane part, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the difficulty of the pilot. Like nobody, you can like assign, like it's kind of like Uber essentially. Like if you're just a pilot in the industry, they'll pay you mad money to take it, but like a lot of paths are just not like livable. You can't, like, it's not worth it. It's not like convenient. You're not going to places where you want to go, like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many reasons like that, like essentially I from memory, all the other pilots were like, yo, like that dude, he made the right choice, like exactly what we're saying. But here's the thing, this is TikTok, it was in the comments.
No, please enlighten me to what TikTok thinks.
No, see, like the top comments are fine, right? But then it's like the mid-tier comments. And one of the top comments was a little, I was like, huh, interesting, because it was like on topic, but it was like the wrong take, like, because there's blaming the pilot like an awful dude. I'm like, bro slept like 3 hours extra. I'm sorry, but the planes have autopilot. Half the comments didn't know autopilot was a thing, and then they were like, they should ban autopilot. I'm like, we've been using autopilot for like,
it's the inception of planes, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? The minute we could have autopilot, we did.
Yeah, like, why do you think they're piloting the planes the entire time? Like, that's
because human
worse.
error is so common compared to AI error. Like, I don't know, or not even AI. It's just like,
yeah,
one set route.
And so
it's not even AI at that point.
And so the other comments that got a lot of traction.
Every country uses that.
Yeah,
like, it's not just America. Like,
yeah,
dude, actual fucking goobers.
So the other high end comments were, see, they hit the ceiling. The plane hit.
Wait, what?
The plane hit the ceiling of the Earth, and the Saturn is painted. Those were the comments, and I was like, that I scrolled through like the first one, and it said like the plane hit the ceiling. They didn't nose dive. No, the pilot didn't dodge the ceiling. And then the next comment was, Saturn was painted on. No way you'd mistake it for a plane. It's because it's there and they don't want you to see it. That's why there's altitude. I'm like, I put my phone down so fast. I'm like, get me out of here.
All I gotta say, I hate the internet sometimes. Like, see, if they're joking, that's cool, right? Funny joke. You got a good laugh out of it. I'm laughing a little bit. But if they're being for real, those are the type of people in the grand scale shark-human war that I would not miss.
And so like going,
like they got to be the ones living on the border of Sharkman territory, right? Like the shark people are invading from the sea.
They're the people you sacrifice first.
Lion human hybrids invading from the forest. Like those are the guys living on the outskirts. Like we got to like push them out a little bit, right? Just in the front lines, they could survive, and that's chill.
No, I already know how I would do it too. I'd be like, we need our best and strongest and smartest men on the front
in the
lines
center. In the center, keep them alive. Keep them alive.
No.
Keep them alive.
No. And then say that the flat earthers rise up. You are the chosen ones. You're so smart.
Oh,
we need you.
God.
We need you to be the front line. So without you, we won't know what's out there. You have the best view. That is historically what you do to those people.
The 1st Battalion.
Yeah, and then they would run into the wall because they're like, yes, I'm chosen now. This is my time to shine. And then the sharks would eat them, right? And like, going back to that earlier one, I like looked at that, right? Those comments. And like you said, if it was a joke, right? I was hoping that they'd get roasted in the response comments. No, it was support. I was like, they were like, for real. Like, yeah,
You're
bro.
On flat Earth talk.
They're like, yeah, why don't you think we can fly over Antarctica? And I'm like, whatever, okay.
Why would we fly over Antarctica? What's the benefit? Where are we going?
I feel like there's like 90 reasons why it wouldn't make sense to do that, but it doesn't even matter, right? And like the thing is that earlier TikTok said like that's like Bible talk, like deep Bible, like misunderstanding the Bible. And I'm like, are these people religious though? Like, are they? Like, they are not, right? Like, I don't know how
flat earthers are. I don't think flat earthers are tied to a religion, right?
But that's what that one was saying, is that it stemmed from the like Christianity, like a misunderstanding of it, and it spiraled out. It's
taken over by people who aren't. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like questioning them door to door like Jehovah's Witness, but. Like, I would like to think they're not Christians.
Yeah, well,
not like I'm trying to stick up for them, but like, I don't think it's them.
The reason why this conversation came up was because you said Jesus finds a way to come back in your life periodically, and I'm thinking like for the flat earthers, it's like every once in a while they get a revelation. They just like look outside and just like see a bird hit the ceiling and fall back down.
Apparently,
yes.
Speaking of flat Earth, there's a documentary about flat Earth and how they go about finding out how the Earth is flat. And one of their experiments, which had to do with a laser pointer pointing forward, it apparently disproved flat Earth. So in their own documentaries and research, they actually disproved that the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
which I think is hilarious.
I think it's like crazy because it's like that's the pursuit of knowledge, and like that almost tells you like that
We're going backwards.
You didn't do the bare minimum. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
your point, right? Like we're going backwards. I feel like sometimes you do need to go backwards, but that feels like too far backwards.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, there's people who say, hey, maybe the original research was wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, how far back do we go though to find out if it's wrong or not?
Yeah.
Like, are we going back to make sure that 1 + 1 = 2? Like, no. Like we're not going that far back. Like, why are we going back to see if the Earth is flat?
All right. Here's another conspiracy that's very adjacent to this flat earther, but this is kind of the gateway drug into it. I think from being
the gateway drug into conspiracies.
No. The gateway drug into flat earther.
Gang? What's up?
The gateway drug into being a flat earther. I feel like, us being chronically online, I'm sure you're aware of this, but the moon landing being faked. Dude, thoughts on that? What do you think?
I can see why we would fake it.
Okay.
I don't believe it's fake.
Okay.
But you know what? I can at least see why. It was the space race. America wants to be first. Sure. Chill. So us having the motive to fake it, totally plausible. Do I think it's fake? No.
Okay. But
and the reason why is it because I've done research, right? I've looked at every frame and I concluded that the moon landing is fake. It's simply I don't give a fuck. If the moon landing is real, I don't care. If the moon landing is fake, I don't care. It does not affect my daily life.
No,
that
but
is
it does.
Information. That is a fact that will never change my life whatsoever.
The
Earth
thing
being
is,
flat or round will change it. This one, not so much, right? Like 5 minutes on TV. Neil Armstrong landing on the moon, one step for man. Like, who gives a fuck?
But that's the gateway drug side. If you don't fight back there and you let them get an inch, they'll take the inch and make it a mile. That's the saying, right?
And as long as it doesn't affect me, I don't care. Like, how does the moon landing affect you personally? Like, does it come in the day to day as a boogeyman? Do you wake up in the morning and tell like your son that, hey, the moon landing's real?
So do you think like earlier we were joking a little bit about like putting them on the front lines, having to feed them to the sharks, right? But like,
you were joking?
Do you think like there is a need? I mean, we kind of do it, but like, this is gonna sound bad. This is gonna sound bad, but like a rehabilitation center for that kind of stupidity. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I can't answer this one.
Wait, what do you mean you can't?
Hey, I can't answer this one, Par.
I'm trying to reason as to why, and I'm like, I kind of know why, but like, it doesn't need to go that far. I mean, we rehab people for like weed, right? Like, I feel like flat earther is one of those things. Like, you should call your like the employer.
How many people in the world are flat earthers?
I think it's mainly in America. I feel like that.
But what's the number population wise? Like what's the number?
Okay. I'm guessing Scientology has some crossover there, right? Let's see, flat earther percentage.
If it's more than 1%, I'd be kind of scared. It's got to be less than 1%, right?
April 25th, 2022, University of New Hampshire. On a nationwide U.S. survey, around 10% of respondents agreed with conspiracy claims that the Earth is flat.
It has to be a meme. No, that's a meme.
What? Okay. Scientific America. Just 66% of millennials firmly believe that the Earth is round.
All I have to say, Par, like I said, I'm not going to answer, rehab, whatever. All I got to say, 10% of America, not that much in the grand scheme of the world population. Europe, lovely people. Africa, lovely people. Asia, lovely people. If 10% of America, which, 10% of people who answered the survey, if they went missing all of a sudden... It wouldn't be that big. It would be like the Thanos effect, if anything, right? Like, oh, there's more resources for everybody else. Like, it would actually be a benefit. In a way.
This is the numbers I'm getting.
Not saying there should be a culling, because that's not what I'm saying. But like, if they were missing for like a period of time to be brainwashed to think the Earth is round, that's chill.
I'm gonna. this is the numbers we're working with right now. Fact check me in the comments, Discord, wherever. I will come back with the real
can't
numbers.
Wait till I get the ire of all the flat earthers in the world.
And because now that I'm getting some of these numbers back, I am scared. I am terrified because, like, you
never know who's a flat earther. Like, imagine going outside to like you go to Walmart, right? You go to Walmart, you're in the checkout aisle, and you're like 10 people around you, you're like, one of these people is a flat earther.
No, even worse, like you're going to buy a globe and then someone like scoffs at you like, ugh, sheep thinks the earth is round.
How would you feel if your son goes to school one day and you go over for like a parent teacher conference and then the first thing you see is a flat model of the earth?
Nah, immediately.
What would you do? What would you do?
I would take him away from school and then roast this dude like on like social media. I don't know, like like that can't be a thing.
Imagine a preschool kindergarten teacher is like, hey, yeah, the earth is flat. The earth is flat. Like models all around the classroom of the earth being flat. And then your son comes home with a picture of like the earth on a piece of paper. And you're like, Dad, look, it's the earth. And you're like, yeah, of course it is. Like, no, it's the whole earth because it's flat.
Which is so one.
Content on there?
It's funny because that'll never happen to my son because I already bought him a globe and we just did like a bunch of designs where it's like the solar system and everything.
Smart.
But it's like, yo, you're not wrong. If it's 1 in 10. If it's 1 in 10 people, bro, we can't trust anybody. And like, I don't know.
It's like Among Us in real life.
Like, because we have an education system. I don't, as much as our education failed us, it didn't fail us that bad. Like, I don't know how you come from that and then go to flat earth. Like, it just, I don't know what classes you need to miss to even to want to think like that. You know what I mean? Like you said, it shouldn't matter. For most people, whether the earth is round or flat shouldn't even be like a daily concern to you, right? But the fact that you firmly believe that it is flat to the point where it bothers you and you and you have like this missionary assignment to like teach the world about the flat earth agenda, it's like, I don't know where that came from.
It's like the whole thing is like, if you have a different opinion than mine, that's cool. Like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
But if you want to go around spouting and trying to convert people to your nonsense, then we kind of have a problem, right? Like, if you believe in flat earth, you live next door to me, chill. You know, like, I'm not going to bother you. You don't bother me. That's cool. But if they knock on my door on a daily basis and say, hey, Sai, like, check it out. Like, let me show you 10 reasons why the earth is flat. It's like, okay, now we have a problem.
Okay, so this is a hypothetical, okay?
Yeah.
You're free to not answer, okay? You're the president of the United States, okay?
I can't answer this one.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay, we're in a fictional world, and you're the leader of a country, a kingdom.
All right.
Completely not real. Fantasy, guys. Fantasy.
Gotcha.
Okay? You are the leader with...
Nice preface.
The power of the free world behind you, okay? In your nation, you have something called freedom of speech, okay? And that allows everyone to speak their mind, write what they want, no repercussions. Anyone's allowed to say, we're on a podcast saying all we want. We're not police.
Wait, I made that rule?
That is the rule. That is the doctrine that you abide by. That's not...
All right. That's
okay?
being abolished?
Oh, no. But what I was going to say is, like, there's 10%, right? And you have an education system, but despite your best efforts, and you're upholding freedom of speech because you have to. This is the hypothetical here, right? And you have to uphold it, but you see that 10% go to 12%, go to 14%, slowly going to 20%, and you're
you asked me what I would do?
What would be the counter here?
So there's one answer. There's one very simple answer that I'm not gonna say.
Let us know in the comments what the answer was.
Okay, what would the answer be? In a fantasy world, right? Like, not real life. I'm not the actual president. I'm not like a king of a country. Like fantasy world, isekai, anime, whatever. There's a very easy solution. If you want the solution, I can say, I would find the kingdom that opposes my kingdom, and I would marry into that family, give up my kingdom, and just join theirs.
Oh,
and then say, hey, hey, like these are the days when our kingdom's the weakest.
Oh
The
my
guards
god.
aren't gonna be looking at this entrance this day, and then just let's go about my day and be like, all you have to do is just assure my safety, assure some of my people's safety, and we're chilling,
Right, right. So
and it's GG.
there's a I'm going to talk about it in the hypothetical, and then I'm going to bring it to the real world, because there's like conspiracy here where essentially, right, another solution, the flip side of what you're saying is, hey, I could send all of these people to that other nation as a
Oh yeah,
migrant.
like
And they're just like
the
taint.
saboteur, yeah.
Yeah, like I'll give you 500,000 of my best workers, and then there's those people.
Oh, that's so. I mean, countries do that though, right? Like countries in the past used to. I mean, I guess we still technically use that in a way.
Okay.
It's a sleeper agent, right?
So I here's another way, right? Like, what is war? War is a kind of culling of some sort where people at a higher level, call the people at the bottom level, and it's what determines that bottom level. And historically, knowledge kept on being like a very a gateway.
It's like how kingdoms always send the peasants to fight first before their royal knights.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, the uneducated.
it's something kingdoms have always done.
Yeah, yeah, and so like
You don't send your best fighters on the front lines. No, they're chilling at home with the homeboy. Like,
and
that's how it is.
I kind of think about this when we're talking about, like, you're like, you know what, I'd leave, right? But in our world, it's like you can't necessarily do that. So then what do the people in the higher ups do to like maintain some sort of order? And it's like, a lot of people have conspiracy that like the pandemic and that kind of thing is like equalizer for population. It's like that's what like war is and stuff too, right? And it's kind of interesting because we're finally getting the fruits of peace. We're in so much peace that, like you said, we're kind of moving backwards in a little bit of ways.
Yeah, peace.
Like,
I don't want to be that guy. Maybe I'm just really pessimistic. I'm always on the internet, but
yeah,
I feel like by being so peaceful, we just, as a community, we make really interesting decisions.
and
we're now faced with very interesting problems. Is the best way to put it.
I feel like sometimes
Problems that shouldn't exist.
we restrict a lot of problems, and the thing is, like, by also including restrictions, we become our own problems in a lot of ways. But like, that's why in your fantasy world you create monsters and beasts to essentially
they're the equilibrium.
Yeah, and as twisted as all this sounds, like, we're not pro war, like that's an awful thing.
Yeah,
but
I feel like ideally everyone wants to be at peace.
Yeah, but then you also acknowledge that like there is there's always been cults and weird pockets of people throughout history, right? Believing in the weirdest things. Flat earther being something that only exists now and never existed even in those pockets of time where it's like they didn't have telescopes but they still like had the understanding that the earth was circular, is like, it's kind of depressing. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. And I know what people are like would say, right? Like, one argument's like, oh, like, but if you don't have people who think outside the box, then you're just gonna be trapped in an echo chamber. And you know what? I'm like, well,
No.
fuck it. Maybe an echo chamber isn't that bad after all.
Yeah.
like maybe it's not that bad. Eventually, it has to be good.
Okay, so you know what? I'm not going to entertain the flat earther part, but I want to entertain the idea that, like, there might be some benefit towards that line of thinking, but not so much of becoming like a door-to-door salesman for your theory about the world, but more so like, what if we figure out the fourth, like, go to the fourth dimension type of thing, like tesseract, quantum realm type of thing, and then we realize that our world is flat, right? And that is the understanding that we should have had, because there are some flat earthers that are that like like, I don't even know, like quasi meta, I don't know what the word is, metaphysical in their logic, that they're saying like, oh, you think the earth is flat, like it's like a separation where it's like, you think the earth is flat, because of the structure. We think the earth is flat because in the grand scheme of things, as higher level beings, the earth is flat. And I'm like, sure, but like that's not like you, that's like not now. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like what you said earlier, it's like, you know, not being in an echo chamber is like thinking outside the box. Yeah, that is important, but then it's like, to what extent? Like, how is that relevant?
They have a lacuna in their brain.
Oh no! How did you fit that in?
What? I mean, it works in a sentence.
Yeah, I guess it does. Were you staring at that definition?
No, I wasn't. It just popped in. I said, you know what? They got a lacuna.
They got a lacuna.
There's a lacuna in the head going on.
What would
if you guys don't know, lacuna means a gap or blank space, a missing part.
I like
my word of the day.
I like how you didn't
Webster's
follow
dictionary.
through and just like we were just supposed to talk about it vaguely, or not vaguely, just like leave it mysterious and just like wonder until someone comments about it.
That's for the YouTube videos. That's not for the podcast. I can spill the beans.
Yeah, we gotta be transparent here, genuine.
Yeah, no lacunas here.
What'd be the first thing you do if the Earth was flat? Like actually, you find out the Earth is flat.
Nothing.
What is the first thing?
What the hell would I do with that information? I found out the Earth is flat. Like let's say God himself just comes down and enlightens me, and he's like, "Oh, Sai, here's all my wisdom, and by the way, the Earth is flat." Like, what the fuck would I do with that? Like, would I go outside screaming from the heavens, like, "Oh, guys,
to become a fourth dimensional being, you have to accept the notion that the Earth is flat. Would you do it?
If it brings me to the realm of fourth dimensional beings, then it has to be true. Then yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I mean that kind of nuance is kind of, it just makes sense in the sense of like, for a 2-dimensional thing, a 1-dimensional thing is a dot, and then like for a 3-dimensional thing, a 2-dimensional thing is flat, and then for a 3-dimensional thing, a 2-dimensional thing is flat. So like in that logic, that makes sense. It just doesn't make sense for like what relevance does that have right now? Like, are you a scientist that's like trying to create portals? Because if sure, continue, right? But like, don't fuel this dude who thinks like the Earth is flat and the government's conspiring against us.
Yeah, like
and the plane is hitting a ceiling.
Flat, it would not change a singular thing in my daily life.
Yeah. I think
that's just how even like the moon landing, right? Like, if you learn today that the moon landing is fake, what would you do?
I think where people transcend it to is they apply it to our funding, right? They're like, all that funding is not real. They just want to sap money, billions of dollars for you. But lo and behold, the sky is painted. And like, that's where it becomes a functional
like the Truman
thing.
Show.
Right. And it's like, no. Like, no. You know what I mean? Unless you're creating portals. No. You know what I mean? Like, you could, if you're a guy, a quantum physicist, and you're like string theoried up and you're just on a different plane of existence in mental capacity, because sometimes I listen to those dudes and they're supposed to be the smartest people on our planet, and I'm listening to them like, you also sound like a 5-year-old too. Like, you get that, right? And they're
I bet they can't play Minecraft though.
Yeah, they probably can't because they see blocks and not strings, because everything's a string in string theory, right? So it's like, man, it's like those people think outside the box, but it's like, at least like they're supported by other smart people. Like, they have a backing for it.
See, like they're in their echo chamber.
Yeah, that's true. But it's an echo chamber that has provided for us. You know what I mean? Radio, signal, electricity, semiconductors, and so much more. And it's like I forget what it was, but something that we just discovered. I don't know if this relates to the quantum stuff, but we just found out that and this is a huge thing that, like, in the scope of all the news that has been out recently, I'm surprised that this hasn't made news, because this is like insane for most computer, like, digital spaces. It's kind of crazy. We found out how to create a superconductor without freezing it. So like, previously it was that, like, if you had a superconductor, which, like, most people, if you like look it up, I think for me the image that comes to mind is like superconducting magnetic levitation, and so it's essentially like this frozen disc thing that just like zero friction just floats, and it's like the premise of like future maglevs, and this is like super cool thing, because like you can adjust. It's not like a magnet where it's like a magnet like bounces kind of thing. Like you can quantum lock something. So like if this is a superconductor and it's over like a tray or something, you can position it like this or like that, and it would stay, and then you could like push it, and then it would stay in that position through some like quantum physics logic, right?
See, part if it isn't about the Sneeko drama, I don't want to hear about it.
But and so what they're saying with that to speed it up is that we don't need to freeze those things anymore, and you can have superconductors at room temperature, which is insane because things like MRIs are giant magnets, and the reason why they're so big is because they have giant cooling things. But now they can create like really like seamless MRIs, like so much so that like they're thinking that they can, you know, like metal detectors at like TSA, which going back to TSA, they can just put like MRI scanners now, and you can just like scan everyone's like internal everything.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and like now you can apply that to
TSA
everything.
might finally do something.
Yeah, like I would imagine you could even put it in your phone, like not very soon, but like that's how miniature these things can get, maybe soon. And so we could have like I don't know if it's like X-ray, but like through vision phone devices. Like you have like a different filter on your phone now. Like I can see that future.
Since you brought up airplanes for a second, speaking of which, have you heard about the Boeing lawsuit?
I mean, there's lots of lawsuits. There are always some.
There was like a crash that happened not too long ago, and some of the families of passengers that are deceased are suing the plane company for, you know, the suffering of the passengers before they departed.
Oh! Is it because of the phone call thing?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't looked too deep into it, but
because
apparently the plane company's arguing, or Boeing is arguing, that since the plane combusted in a matter of seconds, nobody had the chance to suffer. So they don't have to pay reprimands for that.
Jesus.
They are paying for obviously like the deaths, but they're trying to argue that
it's like $50,000.
Yeah, they're trying to save some money by saying that the people who died didn't suffer because the plane killed them too quickly.
Yeah, I mean that is so here.
I mean, it makes sense from a company standpoint, but it's like, bro, like really, like you're already paying so much, like it's like a drop in the bucket at that point.
So actually, I've heard of this a version of this
crazy
conspiracy. I don't know if it's a conspiracy thing, but a flight attendant, I think this was during the pandemic. The flight attendant said that, you know, like the protocol they tell you when like a plane is like falling and you're like supposed to bench like your head to in between your knees and like do that. She was saying that actually is so that if you die quickly. And I was like, wait a second. And she's like, yeah, that's because like if you were into a plane crash, like and everything like crushed, you would just be gone in an instant, and then they could not be sued by saying that like the death was seamless or whatever. And I was like, whoa, that's kind like that sounds batshit crazy, but that also sounds real as shit, because like that's not a very like, why wouldn't you like curl up into like a ball, you know what I mean? Why don't you bring your knees to your chest and like hold it or something, and then you'd like, you know, I don't know, I feel like that's more of a proper position than like,
I feel like plane crashes are hard too, because it's like even if you do survive, you might just be like super crippled after that, right?
Yeah, and then the plane
you lose
company
your arms, legs, and it's like, damn, like
would have to pay for it.
Like everybody around you is like dead. It's like,
so then is the plane company putting
hard.
that rule in for the good of the passengers, do you think, or they're doing it for their wallet? Which one do you think?
I think a little bit of both.
It came from a good place, and then it ended up being a really good place.
Yeah, and who knows? Like maybe they did think that was the optimal position to survive in, and then it just got warped over time. Yeah. They're like, oh well, actually, this is the best way to kill people.
What do you think?
Maybe some guys like, oh, like, hey, like I think this is how people are gonna survive, and then obviously it's probably not. It's a hard one.
What do you think about those planes? There's this guy.
It's hard to argue what's right and wrong.
Who I think this is for intra-Europe, because Europe has like many flights. That's how you travel, and they're like, you could just go like something that's a 3-hour drive, you could take like a 30-minute flight, whatever. And so the guy is proposing standing planes. So like there's no seats, they're just like standing, and it's a lot cheaper because there's no seats. Would you fly on that plane?
My legs can't last that long.
I mean, it's like a 30-minute flight.
Oh, well, yeah, I'd probably do it.
You do it, and it's like $10 or something, and you go
Yeah,
like,
I do it.
yeah,
If it's
that's
that cheap, yeah.
interesting. I
I don't like to fly that often. I'm afraid of that scenario. Like, if the plane crashes, bro, like I'm dead, my wife is dead, like everybody, like
yeah, but like
it's not a good scenario.
plane
Like even if you
crash-
survive, it's like it's not that good of a scenario.
isn't plane crash less common than a shark
Car
attack,
crash.
car crash,
Yeah.
like all of those things?
It is.
But you still get in a car.
Yeah, but I don't travel like that kind of distance often.
You're more recluse, like an airbender. Some airbenders.
You called me a fucking nomad a minute ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but there's a separation, right? Like some nomadic
Hey,
ones.
I'm a firebender that only stays in the fire capital. That's all I want to hear.
So wait, would you say you have your fear of planes? Was that what you would say, or is this just like a risky?
It's because planes have
aversion?
things to do with the air, and I don't like airbenders.
That's not my domain.
It's not my domain. I don't belong there. If it's not a volcano, man, like, come on.
But you just said you would get bird wings.
Because that's the optimal one to get.
Yeah, but like flying.
But airbending between like I mean, I guess airbending is better than firebending because technically, depending on how you can control it, you could probably put out flames. But at the same time, it's like, I think bird wings are one of the best animal parts you could get. If
Over
I
a
would
tail?
love to see people like enlighten us in the comments saying like, oh, like actually, and ants antennas are the best thing you could get. Like, but
Yeah, that'd
know,
be cool.
at the top of my head, 2 seconds, boom, bird wings, done.
Okay, so if you had bird wings,
Yeah.
how often would you use it in a week? Would it get old? Do you think it would get old?
It would get old, but I feel like I'd use it like every day almost. I probably wouldn't use my car that often, but then again, like if it's not common and people see me and they're like, oh, like there's a bird guy, let's shoot him down, then I probably wouldn't do it. If the government sees me and says, hey, there's a bird guy, let's capture him, then I probably wouldn't use it at all.
Flying
right?
would be boring if everyone had wings, right?
Flying would be boring. I wouldn't say so. It's still really convenient.
But
It's like walking. Like, is walking boring?
But like I think
Just because we do it every
the
day?
way we work as humans is the thing that we don't do in our daily life gets romanticized. So if we were all flying with wings, then we would want to, like, it would be like a, you know, like the people who go on escapes and to discover themselves. That would be like a
Yeah.
thing. If everyone had wings, people would be like, but have you taken a walk? Walks are like, it would become like a trend, like a fad. Like walking is the new rage, you know what I mean? And then like a lot of it would like
it
cycle
could be,
in.
but here's the thing: we don't have like when we have wings, we could still walk. People will always still walk. Like just because I have wings doesn't mean I'm gonna fly to my kitchen. I'm still gonna walk there. It won't be like a novelty.
That's true. That's true. So if you were
As far as like hiking goes, where people's like, oh, like have you ever been on a hike? It's like, oh yeah, like I walk, but I've never been on a hike. I don't often go to the mountains.
would you
I'm still gonna
ever
walk.
fly over the ocean? Like, would you fly to Europe? Like, you knew it, you could. Like, you know, it was possible.
I last like 16 hours. I mean, if I could do it, yeah.
Like over
I mean,
the
I don't know,
open
but
ocean.
like the wing strength though, like I feel like that'd take a lot out of me. Probably not actually.
Yeah, and like storms. Would you fly in a storm? Because like airplanes fly in storms, birds fly in storms, right?
Would I fly in a storm?
Like a lightning storm. Would you like? I think birds fly in lightning, right? Like I've definitely.
Birds fly in lightning.
Yeah.
I mean, birds aren't likely to get hit by lightning anyways.
Wait, why? Aren't they like higher up? I mean, I guess they don't carry enough charge to be attracting more than the earth or the ground. The earth probably creates more of a disparity of charge than a bird would. And even if it were to hit the bird, it wouldn't be like a full discharge, I guess. Man, I wonder though, like imagine like that happened and like fried chicken just like a just
That'd be kind of dope.
Yo, that'd be sick. What? Nah, there's no way
birds can get hit by lightning, but I feel like it would just be random more than like the lightning going to them.
Yeah, and it wouldn't
them
cook
out
them.
rather than like a high point.
I wish it was like the perfect amount where it's like you know, like when you think about like you know, not to like down talk this, but like someone down on their luck, they're like they need food or something, or like think back in the time where they just needed food and they're like a god-given sent like thing, right? Like, you know, you think about seeing an oasis, but imagine just like fried chicken falling from the sky. Like, I would believe in God. Like, I think I would actually like convert like immediately, right?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Like, if fried
No.
chicken just fell from the sky and you were like the hungriest, like you were starved for
Probability.
days. Probability? Like, you're gone. Like, you're in the
Probability.
middle of nowhere. What do you mean probability? When have you seen fried chicken fall from the sky? I'm talking about like medieval times too. Like, fried chicken, even it's the
Well,
greatest thing to taste.
Maybe medieval me would have like automatically converted to God.
Yeah.
But modern day me, 2023 sci, I would not convert. I'd be like, yeah, that's fucking probability.
Probability. Okay, okay. Let me know in the
I'm
there's
a
a lot
logical
of
man,
things.
Par. Like I gotta see with my eyes to believe it. That right there, probability.
Oh, so like, are you saying like KFC had a plane and they just dumped chicken? Like, if that's what you're logically you would
No,
go
no,
to?
no. Like no, just a bird got hit by lightning, 1 in a billion chance. Yeah, sure, happened right in front of
Would
me.
you buy the lottery?
No.
No. Do you buy lottery tickets?
Um, I used to. I used
used
to get
to?
it from my parents. That's it.
What do you mean you used to get it from your parents? Like, you just be like, Mom, Dad, can I have $1? And then you just like run to the gas station and buy something?
No, no. My mom and dad wanted me to buy lottery tickets for them,
Ah.
and then I like scratch them off or like pick the numbers or whatever.
Yeah. And then like you got
But
tired of like losing.
but like I feel like obviously it's not real. Like saying like if a bird dies right in front of you by lightning, your chances of getting the lottery are higher or lower.
But
It's not
people
really a
say
thing.
that. Maybe it's like,
Some people say that it's
Yeah.
more of a feeling
yeah.
than like actual probability.
But like, so you're not the type of person to get swayed by things. Like, if you won, have you been to a casino?
Yeah.
So like, have you ever like hit like a crazy number and then won a bunch of money and then like
Yeah.
chain reacted off of that?
I have, but I'm cognizant of it.
Okay, okay.
Like if I'm at a casino, like I think the highest I won was like $300-400, which isn't
Yeah.
it's a lot, but not a lot because I only bet like $1. But if I ever win that much, it's like, oh snaps, I'm on a hot streak. When I
Yeah.
know the hot streak doesn't exist, I'm like, oh, let's just keep on going. Even though I know that my probability is exactly the same as a minute ago, it's like I think it's more of a feeling that I just like to enact on rather than like, oh snaps, like I'm on a winning streak.
So
It's like, no, I just got good luck right now.
yeah, no, so in some contexts, casinos can be seen as another way to call populations. Do you think like that is because you know, people on Twitch, they ban gambling, right?
Gambling,
because
yeah.
it the neurons, it affects you, but what you just talked about, like the cognizant part of it, right? Do you think that's like an abusive?
It's like gotcha games. Like I don't play Genshin,
Uh-huh.
but like I play gotcha games in general.
Yeah,
And like it's probability, like you have a really low chance to get this one character,
Yeah.
but you spend money to get it. It's like in every form of entertainment nowadays, whether it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball, Call of Duty, CS:GO, Valorant. Like it's present in everything.
right. What if
And
I told
I know
you?
it is, but I still pay money, but I know what I'm feeding into. Like it's like, yeah, it's fine.
What if I told you
There's a
that
healthy amount. There's a balance.
I'm naming this section population control. I forgot to change the name. It was on Flat Earther this entire time, but the perfect
But now we're on
change.
population control. Hell yeah.
So what if I told you that lotteries, like like the Mega Millions Powerball, they fund public school systems?
What if the lottery funds public school
Like
systems?
that's an actual thing that they say, like on their thing. They support public, whatever state you buy your, New York, Connecticut, Oklahoma, Kentucky, whatever state, it helps funds the public schools. What if I told you that?
It would give addicts more incentive to go to the casino.
Right.
Like
And-
I don't think it would convert more people to like get gambling addictions, but
Yeah. It's
I don't-
crazy
like,
because
in
that's
general as like a net positive. I guess there would be one in a way,
uh-huh.
but it wouldn't be by a huge margin
All right, so now let
because
me
the amount of people who become addicts at the end of the day isn't worth it. But
Yeah.
at least the education system gets funded. But then again, I don't like the education system in the first place, so maybe not too much of a benefit.
Yeah, let me immediately debunk it. So they say that, but then apparently what schools do, if there's like times where they get an influx of funding from the lottery, they just like write off a lot more.
It's what we were talking about, tax write-off.
Yeah, it's essentially something they play with the books. Like they see like, oh, we're about to get like $40,000 in funding. Oh, time to like cut school like funding now, like, and then pay the teachers
I
more.
wanted to go to Hawaii anyway.
Yeah, and that's literally what happens. I'm like, come on, guys.
I mean, yeah, like, okay, so there'd have to be a stipulation then, like, we would have to have all of the money on paper, like, seeing where it goes, right? I feel like that'd be the counter to that.
It's public schools. We have all the they literally have PTO board. It's all up in front of our faces. It's just no one cares to look at it. It's the craziest thing, because when I was like, I remember like way back when I was younger, you know, like lottery, me and my wife, my wife is a superstitious type of person, so she is susceptible to those things. She's like, oh my God, my lucky number's on here. I'm like, that's literally not how it works. She was like, but look, I won this one time out of like 50. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Okay.
I mean, eventually you had to hit that number.
Yeah, and so, and then like later on, I'm like, you know what? It funds the school system. And then like literally like a month later, I was like, wait a second. No, it doesn't. There's no way it does. Like, how we keep on getting like $1 billion things? If this is funding the school system, then this school system shouldn't have like no books, and they should have like a bunch of...
your kid should be fucking jetpacking to school at that point.
Yeah, like how many years of this would you need to influx? Like, it can't be that much of a money pit. And then I think I might have sent you a TikTok where the guy broke it down, or I'll send it to you later, where it's like the guy broke it down and he's like, no, they just like write it off, and that's why it's like worse off for the school systems anyway. So I'm like, because all their part of the thing was that the lower income places are more susceptible to buying lottery tickets, so it ends up becoming like they end up like not having as much money anyways, so whatever money that would go to them doesn't go to them even more. It's like it's a weird loophole that just ends up siphoning off more money.
And the thing is, it sounds really scummy, right? Like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. You're probably not a big fan of it either. But if we were the school system or the people getting that extra money, we'd be like, rolling around in dough.
Yo,
so it's always different on the other side. It's like weird.
Like I think our principal of our school made like 250 grand, and then the the superintendent made like 700, like 600,000. Yeah. I'm like,
everybody is out to look out for themselves.
Yeah, we're the worst school district. How are you making this much money?
Yeah, why are you getting paid as much as the president?
yeah, no, you're right.
That's just how it is. Like, everybody's always looking out for themselves, and the world would be better if everybody was altruistic.
Yeah.
But it's hard to believe in a world where everyone is altruistic, because there's always going to be somebody who's like not, or at least looking out for themselves more than other people.
Do you think the world was more altruistic before, when we had war was more common? Like in that previous conversation we had in the previous stream, where like everybody
in the Sharkman War,
not altruistic. That. Like everybody is a murderer, right? Like we talked about that, how like at a certain point in history, everybody had the dog in them. Everybody was a bona fide killer. It was just normal, right? There was kind people, but they also probably either killed somebody or...
I don't think there's a lot of altruism when everybody was a serial killer.
But the thing is, serial killer thing is... I don't know. Serial killing... Is that a newer thing? I feel like serial killing
that's an older thing.
It's an older thing. It's always been history?
It's starting to become outdated. So nowadays...
Oh, God, outdated.
Serial killing... Like, it's the killing of 3 or more people.
Okay.
A lot of killers nowadays, modern day, don't get past the second person. Because technology is advanced to a point where serial killing is pretty much obsolete nowadays. So you're going to get caught.
I know where you're getting at, though. But pre-forensic like in that era of modern civilization, but pre-forensic, people can get away with, like, you could literally be at the scene of the crime and get away with it. You didn't need to be a rock. You could be a flat earther and get away with it. I'm very confident in that. Now, But before that,
Like the Zodiac Killer. People think the Zodiac Killer is like high IQ. He's just a random dude, bro. Like
yeah, in some like bunkin' ass
they can't
area.
track his fingerprints, dude. Like he's chilling.
Yeah, the system's backed
He's
up.
just some bumbling fuck, bro.
Yeah, 100%. And like he probably is sitting there like y'all are dumb, right?
Yeah,
but, like,
he probably just hit the lottery once and he was on a high.
But what I'm talking about is like Vikings,
Yeah.
medieval times even, right? If killing is accessible, serial killing isn't necessarily a thing, right? Like yeah, there's the twisted royal people, but that supports this idea that
So you're asking if I think people are more altruistic back in those times?
yeah, because you said it before where it's like in the beast hybrid civilization, people would value
yes.
life more, right?
I would say they are more altruistic, but only towards their own people.
Only towards
obviously
own
in an
people.
ideal world, I would be altruistic to other countries, and you know, like you'd be altruistic to like fish people. Like in an ideal world, there is just straight peace, and there's no problems. Nobody's corrupt. But even like back then, I feel like when there's like a country at war, like the Greeks or the Romans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're only altruistic to their own people. Like if you're another country rolling up, like you're scuffed in their eyes. Like it's game over.
What's interesting is
this on sight.
You know, this is a teaser to one of my future videos. France and Japan, the craziest international connection. Like I think as early as like 1300s, they had like relations, and they were just like I think Japan was sailing towards Rome or something like that, and like they needed to take a pit stop or there was like a storm, and they landed in a French like area, and from then on they were just best buddies. I'm like, that's dope.
That's
like,
ideal. Like that's goals, bro.
yeah, and like so throughout entirety of history, even when Japan went into isolation, they maintained that like level of friendship to the point where we see it reflect in just quick fact is like in terms of manga and anime consumption worldwide, France is
high.
Yeah, is probably they competed for second, if not is second right now in the world outside of Japan.
If you ever go like on Crunchyroll or anything, and you wonder why next to English dub there's always a French dub, that's why. Like,
yeah,
French is high up there, bro.
And it's crazy because like in one of my videos I talk about why Japan specifically. Now I'm going to do another video about why French specifically. But Japan has like this belief system that Shintoism, that everything is alive. Every single thing. Like, they didn't have deaths back then, but once we created deaths, yeah, we treasured deaths because they were alive. And we treated everything with respect, as if it breathed, as if it has a soul. That is the Shintoism. Shintoism isn't a religion. It's a belief system that went into their culture. And I feel like if there was a solution to what we're talking about, that altruism thing, it's something like that, right? Where I was going to ask you, where it's like, if we're in modern times and we're losing the altruistic nature, but obviously the medieval times is not the solution because everyone shouldn't be just a killer. And like, what you're saying, it's like a foreign entity is always an enemy, always treating the enemy. And I think nowadays we're still at that point where it's like we just don't know.
Oh, we definitely are.
Yeah, we create our own enemies out of thin air, essentially. And I'm like, where do we always need an enemy, or do we come to a point where it's like Japan? I feel like Japan is such a crazy world where it's like they obviously aren't the perfect society because they have their own racist beliefs as well. But in terms of like the altruistic nature of how they treat each other, at least, like if that was our foundation and we moved on from there, maybe it would be better. But I don't know. Like, is AI, like, do we need AI to then be like, fuck computers, you know what I mean? Or do we need an alien race to come and just like mess with us? Like, what
I don't think we
happen?
need them, but I think it's just the easiest answer.
Yeah, it's so. I sometimes I sit there, I'm like, damn.
Like, I feel like
solution.
I feel like no matter what, it will be always impossible to have a truly altruistic world.
Yeah, like
I feel like that's too optimistic. It would never happen.
Yeah, because like my naive mind growing up was like, I felt like global warming or like the Earth, like natural disaster.
Oh, don't. You were
Was
Greta Thunberg, weren't you?
no. Like natural disaster was something that would bring people together because of the adversity. So like growing
Oh,
up,
but politics, Par. What are you talking about?
yeah, like Hurricane Katrina was like something that
You're
was
crazy.
like continuously like eye opening as a child, and then it continuously, and then we see like through like events like 9/11, we create our own natural disaster, and it divides us. It continuously divides us. And I was like, damn, like Mother Nature can't even bring us together. And I'm like, damn. And then to circle back to this conversation, it's like, how do we even come together on Mother Nature when like half the like 10% of people believe the Earth is flat? Like they don't even believe in like
Yeah.
the same Earth. Oh man.
There's too many. There's, in a way, I wouldn't say there's too much diversity in opinion, but there almost is,
Yeah.
or at least not enough respect of it. It's hard. There's like a weird middle ground that everybody has to come to, but it'll never happen. There's too many people.
Yeah, I wanted to end the podcast on like a more positive note, and I was trying
There's
to
no
find,
positivity here,
but like
Bar.
this conversation kept on leading to like, man, it's despairing. It's
You
like
know-
we constantly have to overcome that despair to get to a positive place, only to get more despair.
You know what?
What?
This is how we should end it off the despair podcast. We started off by saying we're going to talk about the Marianas Trench, and we didn't. Let that soak in.
And
There's
you-
no such thing as true altruism.
and you know what's even more ironic? The Marianas Trench is the lowest low, the deepest depth of our planet, and somehow we found a depth that
And
is
there's creatures there that will never see the light of day, just like true altruism. Like an altruistic world.
Oh,
We'll never
no.
see it.
Oh no! And what's worse is that we somehow still taint that the deepest depths of the Mariana Trench, like plastic bags and pollution, still made it there, and that is the outskirts of the taintedness of humanity.
I like to imagine a common running theme: Elon Musk, Greta Thunberg, and Marianas Trench. Well, we're just never gonna finish this list.
Yeah, like you know,
That'd be kind of funny.
I wonder because I feel like Samoans are also just like better culturally as well. Like the way they treat each other and the nature, and they're also just bigger people. I feel like that maybe that's the solution, right?
Bigger people, bigger hearts.
Yeah, Sai, you knew exactly.
I knew what you were going for.
Yeah, perfect, exactly. So
So
hit,
are we saying that fish are stupid then?
we're saying fish
Because they got small brains?
I mean, I don't even think they need brains, right? Like,
So you aren't all you don't like fish. You're not altruistic, son of a bitch.
you know what's funny?
Part of the problem.
Real quick about that conversation, there's a whole agenda against. I'm on like vegetarian talk and like vegan talk.
You're
and,
on vegan talk, no.
but it's because I'm on anti-vegan talk, and it's a bunch of people. So like, you know, like those unsolicited conversations that happen where it's like, do you eat chicken? And they're like, do you know those chickens cry tears every time their feathers get plucked? Like it's crazy out of pocket conversations like that. And it's like, do you care about your pets? And like those kinds of things, and trying to break down people and things like that. And there's recently a lot of great responses that clap back, but there's a huge agenda right now. I've seen multiple things like that where like a lot of vegans and vegetarians go to like mushrooms and stuff like that. Like that's if you guys know, like supplementally, mushrooms are probably one of the greatest sources of nutrients for a lot of different reasons. But
I put vegans on the same scale as flat earthers.
oh god. But there's probably a lot of vegans in our chat side. But so before.
I'm kidding then.
Well, but the thing
If
was,
you're vegan, I'm joking.
the anti-vegan movement was like, hey, did you know mushrooms can speak too? They actually have 50 sound ranges and stemming from tears, and they're like,
What
they
are you
hooked
gonna
up to
eat?
thing. Yeah, and like, so they're
What are you
essentially
gonna eat?
there's a whole agenda of making every single food a living thing, and I'm like, that is kind of like so far in the wrong
plants
direction.
are technically alive too. If you
Yeah.
really want to go that way.
No,
Like,
no. Have you seen
plants spread seed. They talk. Like they grow.
Have
like
you seen the plantussi?
plant tussie? No, but I've seen tree tussie.
Tree tussie's, you know, a more visual thing.
Tree tussie's crazy.
So they've shown that plantussi, they found the cell in the membrane. I forget what the plant cells are called, but that essentially allow for oxygen transfer, and it just looks like a mouth that just goes like a
Oh, I thought
fish.
you were gonna say plants can have orgasms.
No, but all
Where
the
do you think the
comments are
pollen
like,
comes from, boy?
all the comments on this, literally, I think it was like the Science Channel TikTok. All the comments are like, not the plant tussy, bro. And I'm like, come on, guys. And then like people would duet that and stitch that and be like, see, plants are alive too. You guys are making them cry. Imagine this mouth crying in the tears. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm all for it because like I'm on the boat that everything's alive. I actually have a
I'm on
story.
the boat. Everything's alive, but you got to eat things that are alive to get stronger.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I
When
think
I was
I
a
think there's
kid,
a natural
I
order.
used to. So when I was a kid, I don't want to go on this tangent because it might be
Yeah.
too long for the podcast since we're edging up 2 hours.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
last thing I want to say is that when I was a kid, I had people try to say, "Oh, like I'm vegan. You should be vegan too." And I was like maybe like 10 years old or whatever. I was pretty susceptible to like a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, but like, doesn't it feel good to eat things and know that they were once alive though? Like eating a chicken nugget. I know it's chicken nugget, whatever.
Yeah.
Like chicken nugget, chicken wings, like beef. Like I want to like get as close to alive as possible. So even now, like I eat like rare steaks.
I mean, there is that
Like,
whole movement of that,
yeah.
you know. For me, the thing about veganism is something that like I've spoken to many people about this, and most of the people that it's ingrained in their culture, for example, they don't they don't practice it in the same way uh until like they're adults. Like most of the people that are fully doing it are adults, and I think that's safer. The reason being is that if you're a vegan and you avoid eggs, for example, then there's almost no source of cholesterol. And there is plant-based cholesterol, but the thing is, cholesterol is important because of growth hormones. Your estrogen and testosterone, those are sourced from cholesterol. And so if you're not getting cholesterol, you're not going to get growth hormones either. And that's where
So what
I'm
you're
like,
saying is that they got small brains.
I mean, there's I again, when I was working more in a health advocacy capacity, the vegan stuff was a very interesting thing to navigate. But most of the people I worked with were adults, so then it was just like there are plant stuff, and so you can avoiding cholesterol when you're an adult is fine because it's like you don't necessarily need all those growth hormones because you have enough of them. Most of your growth hormones at that point, but that's all separate. But my version of you take into the veganism thing, the thing of being alive. I think everything's alive because when I was a kid, I had a lot of like objects that were like sentient to me. Like I like
Yeah.
this is like a true story, and I maybe I'll expand on it later. There'll be a lot of comments, but I actually, I was a dumb 16-year-old kid, and I fell asleep behind the wheel very late at night. It was prom night, and it was a long drive. It was basically like a 7-hour drive total. Long story, but at the very end of it, I was like 15-20 minutes away from home, and I did fall asleep, and I fell asleep.
Dude. That's crazy. At 16?
Yeah, I fell asleep, and it was a long drive. I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have taken a break, but it was like I felt invincible, and I've driven enough, but I never did that long of a drive, and I never told my wife for the longest time. She was mad, super mad. I'm like, this was like 6 years ago.
Yeah, better. Like, I mean, I wouldn't chalk it up as a mistake, but it's like it.
Yeah, I learned from it. Obviously, I never.
Yeah, you learned from it, and I would like to assume you haven't done that again.
Yeah, exactly. Never done that again, and also
good guy.
So what ended up happening was I was gone. Like I was asleep. Like to the point where like those theories, like those ideas that like when people go into a coma and like from thing and they just don't know reality from whatever.
Are you wait? Are you trying to say that your car's sentient because you safely got home?
I didn't safely get home, but there was I was maneuvering. So it was so late there was only like 16-wheeler trucks, And I remember waking up, my mom called my phone. And so like it was like super late and she called my phone and I woke up to that and I was like fine, but then when I was like registering fine, right? It was cognizant.
Yeah.
I was taking it was right before my exit too, and like my navigation gave my directions and everything, and I was just like I was back, but I was like wait, like I don't remember like the last
Dang,
like
bro,
five
you got
exits.
saved by God. Just so
Yeah.
he can give you cancer.
No,
Yo,
and like
that's hilarious.
so we still have
Damn.
that car. Yeah, that car is like super special. That car 100% alive because like
It's crazy.
yeah, because there was another thing that happened when I was older. I this car is like it loves me in the sense
So
of
you
like
still have that car, right?
yeah, we still have the car. The car is nearly as old as I am. It's 20 years old. My dad has been wanting to get rid of it.
It was your long lost brother.
No, like my brother and I, we're like hoarders in that sense, but we keep
Yeah.
our possessions in really good condition, so we can keep things for a long time, and it runs perfectly fine. Like my dad wanted to get rid of it, and he wanted to buy a new car. I'm like, just drive this car. And he's like, wait, this car feels good as new. The thing is, when my dad drove it, he drove it into the dirt. It was god awful. Then I started driving it, and it like improved. It never had problems. My dad had to take it to the like mechanic like every other month or something like that. When I got it, he was just like, wait, we don't have to take it to the mechanic? I was like, no, it's perfectly fine. What do you mean? Like, and then so I had it for like a long time, never had any issues. And then we'd get the normal checkups, whatever. I took it to like college, not college, but like me and my wife, we got a place and I was just with it. And I was driving around and the brakes were like getting like more like loose, like gassy kind of thing, where it's like you'd have to press really hard for the brakes to go. And what ended up happening was I was doing like some drive or something like that, and the brakes were like super finicky. And the thing was like I made it home. Parked perfectly fine, and then I tried to like start it up to go, and the brakes were gone, absolutely gone. And then I had to get it towed, call a mechanic. And the guy said like, wait, you like no, like you were not driving on this car. What were you doing in this car? And I was just like
the car's barely out.
I was
barely
just like
alive.
I was like, oh, I just drove like a 2-hour drive and then I did this and this. Like I was doing that for the last week. I was like recounting. He's like, no, these are like your brake lines are rusted through. Like there's no like way you were driving. He's like, you made it home? And I was like, yeah. I was just like waiting for the guy at my place, and he's just like, huh? And then he gave me a deal. I don't know what it was. It was like some kind of, he's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna like hook you up. And he just like redid a lot of the stuff like for like a less than what it was, because I was like a broke dude. And like I was just kept on sitting there like, yo, this car is special as fuck. Like how the hell did it just manage to get me home? And our home was up, like the driveway was uphill, so like or no. Yeah, uphill, and so like meaning is downhill. And I managed to brake perfectly, park it, everything was fine. And the guy was just like, nah, this car did some spooky voodoo shit. This was like the mechanic guy telling me this stuff. It was kind of like Kilbotterman's from One Piece. It's low key.
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
like, yo, like your thing came to life for a minute. It saved your life. Like,
yeah,
dude, how would you feel?
That's when I told my wife that story, the brake line thing, because she was there. She's like, wait, what? She was there with the mechanic. And she's like, wait, you drove like hundreds of miles on this car. And the guy's just like, this car should not have been driving that much.
What would you say if you go to like your next like cancer appointment at a doctor and it was your car in the operating room?
It was. I thought
Lightning McQueen. He's like, ka-chow. Like,
yo, honestly,
it like saves your life.
Honestly, that car gives me a lot of peace of mind. It's like, it's super old. Like the thing is, it's super souped up too, but like at the same time, in comparison to like modern cars, it's not that crazy. And like, but I still am comfortable in that car. There's something about that car that has like a special life to it. Yeah. Just like this podcast. This podcast has a special life to it, right, Si?
And speaking of the light of the podcast and the life of it, we're going to cut it off right here. We're going to cut off life at the start.
Yeah, and maybe I think an idea in this podcast was talking about brutal ways to die or fighting methods or something like that. So maybe we'll talk about that in the next podcast. and I guess I want to bring that to Shark Tank. Oh, we didn't do the Shark Tank thing. I'll do that next time. But yeah, thank you guys.
The Shark Tank ideas. Yeah, we'll start bringing up like whack. I mean, I guess we did this Dave, right?
Oh
like,
yeah, we did do
pepper or ooh, not pepper spray. Pepper aerosol.
Yeah, we did our own thing. The pepper.
Sorry,
cannons.
Boys. Don't upset the men here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I like how I say that, but we'd also probably buy into it. Yeah, fuck, dude.
Sponsored by the
women
pepper gun cannon thing, and we'd sponsor it. Would you do a commercial for it on your channel?
Oh, 1000%. Why wouldn't I?
Beautiful. So
yeah.
With that, guys, thank you for listening to the 50/50 podcast. We are on Spotify, posted on the video. If you guys are listening from Spotify and you don't know us from anywhere else, we also post the video.
I'd be
on
shocked. You are not existent. If you actually just listen to us purely on Spotify,
someone might discover
you don't exist.
Someone might discover the podcast.
There's nobody who looks up 50/50 podcast and listens to us.
Okay, but real talk, other than that, we need, if you guys are listening on, there's like 1,000 people who constantly listen to this on the YouTube channel. If you guys can be so kind to give us a 5-star on whatever podcast platform there is, because then we will get those random people who don't know us, and they'll be like, ooh, what's the 50/50 podcast? And then maybe they come to like us, and then the gateway is into the One Piece thing, and then we grow the community one way or the other. So it's all fun,
works out,
fun and dandy. So with that,
we
guys,
really appreciate it.
See you guys next time.